Learn English with Sanju. Hello everyone, welcome back. Before today's story begins, I have one question for you. If someone guaranteed that you could speak English fluently in just 30 days, would you accept the challenge? Or would you say, it's impossible? I really want to know your answer, so tell me in the comments. Now, let's begin. Ryan was a second-year college student. He understood English. He knew grammar. He even knew hundreds of English words. But whenever someone spoke English to him, his mind went completely blank. One morning, the professor entered the classroom. He smiled and announced, "Next month, one student from this class will represent our college in an international event." The room became silent. Then the professor added, "The entire presentation will be in English." Students started whispering. Ryan looked down. He quietly told himself, "I can't do this." Just then, the professor looked straight at Ryan. "Ryan, I want you to participate." Ryan's heart started beating faster. He slowly stood up. "Sir, my English isn't good enough." The professor smiled. Then he said something Ryan would never forget. "Ryan, your English isn't weak. Your confidence is." The whole class became quiet. Ryan didn't know what to say. After college, he sat alone in the park, thinking about those words. Suddenly, an old man sat beside him. He noticed Ryan's notebook. "Old man, preparing for English?" Ryan smiled sadly. "Ryan, I'm trying. But I think I'm too late." The old man laughed. Then he asked, "How many days are left?" Ryan replied, 30. The old man stood up, smiled, and said, 30 days are enough to change a language, if you're willing to change yourself first. He handed Ryan a small notebook. On the first page, only one sentence was written. Day 1, stop translating. Start thinking in English. Ryan looked up, but the old man had already disappeared into the crowd. Ryan looked at the notebook again. For the first time, he smiled. Maybe, 30 days, were enough after all. Ryan went home. He opened the notebook again. On the second page, only one sentence was written. Don't study English for hours. Live in English for minutes. Ryan frowned. What does that even mean? The next morning, instead of memorizing grammar rules, he tried something different. He looked at his mirror and smiled. Ryan, this is my water bottle. He looked at the door. Ryan, I'm opening the door. He looked at his shoes. Ryan, I'm wearing my shoes. Every simple action, he described in English. People laughed at him. His younger brother smiled. Who are you talking to? Ryan laughed. To myself. The next day, he changed his phone language to English. The first few hours, he couldn't understand anything. He accidentally opened the wrong apps. Pressed the wrong buttons. He almost changed his phone settings by mistake. But instead of giving up, he smiled. Because every mistake taught him a new word. On day 7, his teacher asked, "Can anyone answer this question in English?" The classroom became silent. Ryan's heart started beating fast. His hands were shaking. He remembered his old fear. Then, he remembered the notebook. Don't wait to be perfect. Start being brave. Ryan slowly stood up. His English wasn't perfect. He made mistakes. He paused many times. Some students laughed. But something surprising happened. The teacher didn't correct his mistakes first. She smiled and said, "Excellent. Because today, you defeated your fear." For the first time, Ryan realized something. People weren't laughing because his English was bad. They laughed because they were too afraid to try themselves. That night, Ryan wrote in his notebook. Day 7. Today I didn't become fluent, but I became fearless. He closed the notebook. And smiled. Because he finally understood, fluency doesn't begin with perfect English. It begins with the courage to speak. Ryan looked at the calendar. Day 30. The day he had feared had finally arrived. The international event hall was full. Students from different colleges were speaking fluent English. Ryan looked around. For a moment, he wanted to leave. He quietly whispered, "Maybe I'm still not ready." Just then, his professor walked over. He smiled and asked, "Ryan, do you remember what you told me 30 days ago?" Ryan nodded. "I said, my English wasn't good enough." "And today?" Ryan looked at the stage. He took a deep breath. Then quietly replied, "Today. I'm nervous, but I'm ready." The professor smiled proudly. "That's the difference." Ryan's name was announced. The audience applauded. He slowly walked onto the stage. Hundreds of people were watching him. His hands were shaking. He looked at the microphone. For 3 seconds, he couldn't speak. The hall became completely silent. Then, Ryan remembered something. Not grammar. Not vocabulary. The first sentence, written in the notebook. Stop translating. Start thinking in English. Ryan smiled. He looked at the audience. And confidently said, "Good morning everyone. 30 days ago, I was afraid to speak even one sentence in English. Today, I'm not here because my English is perfect. I'm here because I stopped being afraid of making mistakes." The audience listened carefully. Nobody laughed. Nobody interrupted him. Every sentence made him more confident. When he finished, the hall was silent for 1 second. Then, everyone stood up. A standing ovation. Ryan couldn't believe it. He wasn't the best English speaker. But he was the bravest person in the room. After the event, the professor walked toward him. He handed Ryan the same notebook. Ryan smiled. "Sir, I finished all 30 days." The professor laughed. "Open the last page." Ryan slowly opened it. There was only one sentence. "Congratulations. You never needed 30 days to learn English. You only needed 1 day. To believe in yourself." Tears filled his eyes. He finally understood, you don't become fluent by waiting until you're perfect. You become fluent by speaking, making mistakes, learning, and speaking again. Don't wait for confidence to start. Start, and confidence will follow. Thank you so much for watching.